Alright, hello everyone, this is Flatline and I just got back from vacation and we're just gonna start things up. I'm probably gonna be really bad because I haven't played in about a week and a half. Let's see, I played on this account on the day I left. Yeah, so about a week. Doesn't say exactly what time. Definitely a week. But I will be starting up my third day on this for the starting from scratch series. Looks like we are going to be facing against a Terran. Cool. Okay. So where do we left off? I know. Let's see, is there anything to discuss? I guess I could just start talking about Protoss in general. How Protoss plays compared to the other races. Protoss is a race where we aim towards the late game units. The Colossus, the High Templars, those are our, Void Rays, our go-to units. Obviously, Void Ray is not in PvT at the moment. But yeah. Those are pretty much the go-to units that we want to get to. So, in order to do that, we want to get them as fast as possible. So you want to cut a lot of corners, but you also want to make sure that you're safe. So, in that case, Protoss becomes a very reactive race, kind of like Zerg. You kind of relate Protoss with Zerg. Oh wait, why am I scouting? Whatever. It's a very scouting, you pretty much have to scout a lot. If you want to play towards like a macro stage, you want to scout a lot, get good reads off your opponent, and then base your play on what you see. Right, so to do that you have to scout constantly. Against Zerg for instance, you want to kind of see their high time. It kind of gives you an idea. You also want to see his units, like what kind of units, his upgrades as well, how much is he committing, how many drones does he have an extra expansion. All those questions should be coming up into your head at this point. So in this game we're going to be going for a 1 gate expand. Yeah, 1 gate robo expand. We'll go with that. We're going to be going for a 1 gate robo expand. So we want to play super safe. Let's get our stalker out. We want to get the stalker out so we can deal with the then we want to get our sentry out. We want to chrono boost it so we can get more energy for it. About to get supply blocked here, 31 out of 34, so we're going to build that pylon. But anyways, if you looked at the other games, we were going for more of a heavy 1 base build, but we're facing against a platinum player, so you want to start around this time. When you're in platinum, you should try to start skipping some of those gateways. We start off with a 3 gate robo. Obviously, some people might need to go into 2 gate robo. That's perfectly fine. But once you start off at 3 gate robo at bronze, you want to start cutting down a gateway, and then you go to 2 gate robo. And, you find yourself at this point where you're at 1 gate robo, and then you want to get to just 1 gate. Alright, so we saw nothing so far, right? Let's add on our extra gates here. And against Terran, generally you just want to have 3 sentries with your army. Alright, so it's green on the Nexus at the natural. That means we want to start transferring. Alright, so he has a very fast starport. This means he's gonna be going for very quick drops. So you want to make sure you defend. Could have the possibility of him having widow mines coming in. So we want to make sure we are well prepared for them. Alright, so we did a good job at defending that. Alright, and while you're still on platinum, you still want to go for whatchamacallit. You still want to go for Colossus. Now we see him moving out. His upgrades are 0-0. I do want to get a third right now because I did kill off that drop and it did 0 damage. But we'll add on extra gateways to be super safe. Make sure you're constantly making units. I haven't seen anything going on from him, so we'll start moving this out. Cool. Let's look around inside his base. Alright, he's got a lot of barracks. Does he have a third command center? Now we don't need this observer with our army anymore, or with my stalkers. Can move this observer over here. Look at the positions that I'm putting these observers. They're pretty much spread out, well spread out, so I'm going to be able to see everything that's going to be happening ahead of time, so nothing will pretty much catch me off guard. I do have a lot of gas, so I might want to start to think about getting that Twilight Council super fast. Now I see his army here. Let's get blink. He's only keeping a couple of these units in here. Cool, we've been defending this pretty well. We have enough probes here, so we're gonna stop making probes right now. Alright, so we need to see his composition. And let's start adding on some static defense here. We're gonna start adding on some archons because we have a lot of gas, not that many minerals. We do see him moving out. Let's go see how much his upgrades. It's only 1-0. So that's really, really good for me. But we do need to start adding on some stalkers here. I'm just typing that pylon does supply block me just slightly. And we see him moving back. We did force a stem from him, so that was really, really good for me. You can see basically all I'm doing right now is just playing really, really passive until I'm maxed out. I'm 193 to 198, so we're going to start to move out pretty soon here. While we move out, we want to get a second robo. Let's clear this out. While we attack, we are going to expand behind it. Start adding on more gateways. We'll get observer speed. And we want to have zealots at possible spots, and we're pretty much max. We had 3-3, so we should just be able to just steamroll through this. But yeah, this is pretty much GG right here. I didn't really get to talk too much about it, but like we saw with the scout, like I said, Protoss is a very scouting. If you want to play macro style, I feel like you do need to scout a lot. And scouting can come down to different kind of there's different types of ways Protoss can scout. You could go with the typical observer / hallucination, you know, just sitting inside the base, see what they have. You could do the probe scout. You could even do pressure scout. Pressure scout, it's a little bit harder to pull off because you need to understand what can your opponent actually have if it's able to hold this. For instance, against Zerg, let's say he kills off a lot of your units with a lot of lings. What does that mean? What does that really mean? Just think about it real quickly and I will give you the answer. let's say you go for, let me just make it a little bit more specific. You're going for gateway expand, and then you want to do some kind of 3-gate/4 gate pressure, and he holds off with roaches and lings. Will make this a little bit more difficult. You know, around the 7 towards 8-minute mark. What is he actually, what could he possibly have? How many drones could he possibly have? Can he have 60? Can he have 40? Will he be actually down to 30? Like, you need to be able to understand those. And generally the answer, if you're wondering, it's going to be around 40 drones. 40 to 42 drones. 44 drones. Stuff like that. But you need to understand that. What happens if he was holding it off with just ling? Whatchamacallit? Okay, I'm just gonna just ling queen. There we go. That's what I was thinking. What does ling queen mean? That means he's saving up a lot of gas for something else. It could be upgrades, it could be double upgrades, it could be aspire, something like that. We just know that he's saving up a lot of gas for something. We just don't know what it is. Little things like that you just have to take in consideration. But going back to what I was talking about earlier in this, when I was talking about how Protoss is a little bit different from the others. I know I'm saying a lot. But Terran, they don't really need to. Their scouting is mostly gonna be pressure based / harass. That's pretty much their scout. You could talk about the Reaper, you could talk about the drops, all that kind of stuff. All scouts for Terran. Generally, that's how they kind of scout. Zerg, they scout kind of on their playstyle for Terran as well. It's pretty aggressive throughout the game. Very few times you'll see them play very, very passive. Okay, I don't know if this guy's diamond or platinum. I am going to play as if he is platinum. So we're gonna go for a 1-gate expand. But it's gonna be a pretty late expansion at my natural. But I think I should be fine. Playstyle and scouting for Zerg. Their scouting is the Overlord, and their Ling, just a Ling, pretty much. It's pretty much how they scout. We're gonna get our expansion now. So like in, the other one, we went for a 1-gate robo and PVT. Now we're gonna go for a 1-gate expand because of the fact that pylon's a little bit late. That sucks. I know I'm being a little bit more quiet right now. Trying to gather my thoughts again about Zerg here. They are similar to Protoss, where we want to play as greedy as possible, skip as many corners, because their production comes from just the one building. Their workers, their units all come from one you know, base, or they're from their base building. So like their hatchery, their lair, their hive, etc. That is their way of getting units and drones. All of which is very, very important. Okay, so we haven't really scouted, right? So we need to go ahead, pop that hallucination. Let's go see what he's up to. In the meantime, just Chronoboost probes. At platinum level, you can make a lot of Alright, so his third just finished. He doesn't have hive. What? I mean, lair. Hive. We need to go scout and see what's going on here. Does he have lair on the way now? That's good. Does he have 4 gas, a roach? He has double roach horns going down. I don't know if that's a mistake or that's part of his build. Let's go double check. Okay, I don't see any units right now. So I am making a lot of... No, I forgot my Twilight Council. Uh-oh. You can see I'm being very, very stalker. I don't have that many stalkers. We're just gonna right click our Phoenix onto a roach. That way it'll follow that roach until it expires or when it gets knocked out. Do you see it being researched? So he is going to be heavy on roaches. Alright, so I'm making a lot of Void Rays, a lot of Immortals, all of which are really, really good against Mortals at this point. Alright, that wasn't that many roaches, right? We saw only a couple of them. So we're going to stop making Void Race real quick and start getting our other gases here. Wow, that's really, really bad for me. Well, I'll start adding on some cannons here, each base. We have no vision over here, so we want to make sure we have something over there to spot. Make sure he doesn't have any Nidus going down. Still on layer tech. Do you see a Hydralisk 10 going down? Cool. We are going Colossus, so we're okay. So why did I add... why did I add a second Stargate? Because we're going to be adding on a lot of Void Rays here. And we're getting... Alright, so he is 2-2 with those units. You can see he's very, very committed to it. Now we need to see the high timing. This is really, really important, and we do want to start getting a fourth now. And let's get our Templar Archives here. He does not have a hive. Cool. And see, this is why you want to put cannons around your base, because of that. Okay, so we're going to pressure this base. We're going to send out a hallucinated phoenix. We're going to make sure we see where his army's at. Okay, so he has that base, cool. We don't need these phoenixes anymore. Alright, so we need to start adding on more gateways here. My money's getting really, really high, and that's because I don't have enough production. And you can see where I'm putting my units here. Alright, so he has swarm hosts. Alright, so this is pretty cool. How do I deal with Swarm Host now? We're going to show you how I deal with Swarm Hosts. You want to abuse their immobility. They're pretty much Broodlords, but at layer tech, so they get them quicker and faster. I want to get shields because we do have air and ground here. I want to attack, like I said, everywhere. He's very immobile, and that's GG. My money was really high. Like I said, I just got back, so I wasn't really checking out my macro, which is really bad by me. But I remember someone posting on YouTube asking how to deal with Terran, you know, the medevacs, and then how to deal with Swarm Host. So hopefully he watches this and then he actually sees what goes on. The Terran one, to sum it up, I saw a very quick starport, so that means he's going to play a little bit more aggressive. So you just want to focus on defense. And you should have a faster expansion than him if he wants to get a super quick starport like that. It also means that if his drops doesn't do anything, then his frontal push shouldn't do that much. His stim is pretty late because he invested all that gas for the quick medevacs, the starport, the factories, the widow mines. All those are gas, which means he gets a later expansion. A later stem. Oh, so I'm just jumping in against Masters. Okay, cool. Now we get to play a little bit more like Masters, guys. So what is a good build, PvP, at Master Play? You can do the 3-stalker opening. But I am going to go ahead and do the 1-gate expand. This map is not the best for this style that I'm doing, I will say, because you can kind of get away from the natural. You can kind of engage away from the photon overcharge, but I'm very confident in my macro that I should be able to win. This is Protoss, right? Yep. Just making sure it's a Protoss player. But going back, against Swarm Host, you saw me, I automatically queued up a Warp Prism once I saw that. Because I want to start being a little bit more spread out on the map. Anywho, go make sure you don't get supply blocked. And now we're gonna start probe scouting. I'm pretty sure I haven't probe scouted in any of my games. Maybe if I was on Whirlwind because it's the 4-player map, but beyond that, I rarely probe scout. I don't really encourage it in the lower leagues because it's so random in the lower leagues. You don't know exactly what you need to be looking for, and even if you see something, doesn't mean that they're actually doing what it looks like they're doing. Because their builds will be inefficient due to just the likelihood of them not having the mechanics to actually do everything well refined. Alright, so he has 3 pylons, awesome. He's chronoing warp gate. He does have a lot of gas. I mean, a lot of what do we call it? So it's very likely that he is going to be putting on some heavy pressure. Oh wow, he saw my probe. He has a lot of had a lot of chronos, so I'm a little bit worried about what's the next follow-up from him. We're gonna go see. He has a lot of chronos. Was a zealot. It could be a blink stalker build. Most likely it's gonna be a blink stalker build. But we are not 100% sure, so we're not gonna be putting it. Alright, so he's gonna be playing he's gonna be playing pretty aggressive here. What is it? I don't think it is a there's the extra gateways, there's him researching. Most likely it is blink. Alright, so we're gonna stop making probes right now. Alright, so now we know it's blink. Cool. Now I'll add on a couple of zealots here so they can buffer. You want to start adding on your own stalkers here. Oh, him losing that was super bad. GG. Alright, so to sum that up from what I saw he had a lot of chronos. It didn't look like he was going to do a 1 gate expand because of the chronos. He was also spending it on the warp gate. Don't really want to do that. I mean, there is that non-war build where you do that in that case, but it didn't seem right to me. In the sense that he had about 2 more chronos coming out, so he had 3 chronos saved up for something, and most likely it was for that. But I think I did the platinum, diamond, and masters now, so I think this is going to be a good spot to stop it at. It's a pretty short one, but anyways guys, thanks for watching. I do hope that this actually helped you out, even though I'm not 100% sure if it actually did. If you do have any questions or comments or any feedback, just feel free to put it down in the comments below. I do read them and I do try to answer them as soon as I can and as best as I can. Trying to remember if there's anything else I want to discuss about Protoss. Okay. I did talk about the build order thing when it comes to leagues. A lot of people are like, why don't you just follow the pros? You don't really need to do that. If you're a bronze player, don't even try to follow the pros. I want you to do, the bronze player should be doing the most, like the super safe build off one base and then expand. That could be 3-gate robo, and if you can't do 3-gate robo macro, go for a 4-gate robo, then expand. You should be fine right there. If you're not, you need to work on it, of course. From there, let's say you get promoted to silver, you're like, yes, alright, so now, or if you feel comfortable with your expansion, or with your build, you want to try to ease off on the gateway count. So you want to take off a gateway, and then go for a 2-gate / 3-gate robo expand. This is just a generic build, PVT for instance. And then the platinum that you saw me do, I went for a 1-gate robo expand. And then once I hit masters or diamond, like that Zerg, I went for a 1-gate expand. So you just want to take off a building at a time, which allows you to get a faster nexus, which means you have a better economy. But you want to do that when you are comfortable to make that move. To be comfortable to make that move, you need to be able to feel comfortable with the build that you're doing currently. So if you're doing that 3-gate robo, you want to make sure you're doing it really well. You're doing it and you're defending super well. You feel like you're doing it too safe, and you feel like you can step it up a notch and take off a gateway and go 2-gate robo expand and still defend as good as you do with a 3-gate robo expand. I'm trying to remember if there's anything else I want to talk about. I do have other stuff planned out that's gonna be quite exciting, and do have some bad news as well with it. But I'll talk a little bit more about that whenever the time is right. But the good news is it definitely overcomes the bad news. The bad news is very small and minimal, whereas the good news, we have a lot of potential to work with. So yeah. Anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel if you like this. And you can also check out some other Protoss content I put out there. They also released the DreamHack replays and the MLG replays, so I'll probably be going over another hot seat episode. I just got to figure out which Protoss I want to dig up from those replays, and crack down their builds, their styles, their everything. And yeah. So anyways, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.